gentlemen, this match is officially recognized as being for the WrestleForce Championship and belts. It will be wrestled with one fall to decide. Presenting and introducing to you the defending champion. Mere mortals can't beat this dark enigma. The mystic, the magical Voodoo. Voodoo, the defending champion. Let's meet his challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been training hard in the gym, especially for this match. At 5'11" and 212 pounds, the London Pride, the challenger, Danny Duggan! One fall to decide the WrestleForce World Championships.
Commence wrestling!
Yeah, you got away. So here we go, just in time for the WrestleForce World Championships. Great matching these two. Voodoo, the defending champion, he's defended his belt a couple of times so far since restrictions are lifted, but it's the first time Danny Duggan's had a bite of that beautiful WrestleForce belt. Anything is possible with this strange and mystical and quite frankly bizarre character that is Voodoo. But he's a very capable wrestler, that's why he is the WrestleForce champion. Taking on one of the finest heavyweights in the country, toned and muscled, Danny Duggan. Danny did a very neat head nip with the OJMO at Southend in Croydon. That was the last time we saw him. And since then he's been training for his chance for Voodoo's crown. See, this time the mysterious one could have met his match because Danny is so stocky, so well built, trained so hard. It's 100% muscle, 100% steel. Right, cross, shoulder charges, not making much difference. Another one, another bump, charge, you know, not moving Voodoo. almost considered a flying headbutt, then changed his mind. A slap now. What's he doing? Another slap to the other corner. One on each side, possibly. No. Sends him to the ropes. Drop kick. Neatly connected. We know very little about Voodoo. He doesn't say very much in the dressing room. We do know that the art of Voodoo is very popular in West Africa, in Ghana and Nigeria, Jamaica, and the southern states like New Orleans. But where this guy's from, heaven only knows. Oh. And Danny just about hanging onto those. Can he pull himself back over? Yes, he can. Neatly done. That takes a lot of upper body strength. Oh, can Voodoo do it? No. Didn't manage to hang on to the ropes, but the big man, 6'2" of him, not bothered. Yeah, considering flying out, but the experience of Voodoo, grabbed the legs and down he went. Right, forearm smashes outside the ring. You get a chance to look at Voodoo's eyes as well. Very weird eyes. The art of Voodoo, possessed by a spirit, which temporarily displaces the soul and takes a medium. It takes control of his body. Is Voodoo possessed? I don't know. But look where Danny Duggan is. Is he building up to something? He's building up to something. What is he building up to? A drop kick from outside the ring. No one was expecting that. So Voodoo has to come in to lick his wounds a little bit now. Takes him down. Who's the weaker of the two here? Just the count of two. Referee Martin Raymondson in charge of this one. From Kent. Neatly dunked. And a takedown. And just finish off with a few kinks for good measure. Danny might well scuttle outside to get some respite from that, but he decides to stay in the ring. Well, 18 months ago, Voodoo did beat Danny Duggan. At the time, the title was vacant, so he took on the top contenders, and it was Duggan and Voodoo in the final. Since then, he's defended it against Ollie Peace in Dagenham, the most memorable defence recently. But every time the weird man, Voodoo, defends his title, he manages to go back to the dressing room, still the champion, straight into the corner. We've seen Danny Duggan, of course, tagging quite often with Kieran Donnelly. He really has had it's been the year of the workhorse for Duggan. He's in demand everywhere now. Oh, kick, reverse, takedown. Oh, he's going to do a sunset flip there. Back elbow to the side of the head. A little look from Voodoo to say, now you're down. Voodoo composes himself. He's quite happy with that. He wasn't happy with these previous matches. He said Voodoo not get respect. He had a bit of a crisis of confidence, he admitted. He said the creeping death of doubt. Nearly walked out at Whittam the other week. He wasn't happy with what he was doing, but he looks much more secure now. Foot straight to the throat. Referee puts the count on. He's got a count of 5 to let go. But you have to say, having seen Voodoo a few times over the last few weeks, he's looking more confident, he's looking happier. If a man who looks like that can look happy, he's certainly looking on top of this one. And Duggan is in trouble. Neatly moved out of the way of that. Drop kick straight to the legs. to the kneecap more importantly, which is going to incapacitate. Oh yeah, coming in for the figure four leg lock. He's got it. Figure four leg lock, pushes on that. And Voodoo is in trouble. That's a very painful move. Could try and exchange that for the Indian death lock, but he's quite happy on the figure four leg lock at the moment. Oh, and that hurting Voodoo quite a bit. Duggan can stay there all night. A Voodoo special. Straight across the throat, that's not allowed. Now Martin Raymondson almost gets the count of 5 there. Well, you can be disqualified for dissent, but can you be disqualified for, well, taking the mick out the referee? Making Martin work very hard here. One and shoulders up this time. Meanwhile, Danny Duggan. The crowd are behind him here in Southend at the Watson Hall. It's the first time that WrestleForce has been to the Watson Hall, and they would like a premier win from Danny Duggan, the popular lad originally from London, now lives in Hertfordshire. Those strange grey eyes of Voodoo. It's a 100% success rate for Voodoo and his title. That caught him. Oh, and a severe slap to the chin there. Duggan felt that. We heard that at ringside. Across, a single-footed kick. Now, the two men are too heavy to really get knocked down by one of those charges, unless you put the full weight into it. Oh, straight to the side of the face. Of course, when Voodoo wrestles, he doesn't just wrestle for himself. The art of Voodoo, he's wrestling for the gods and the ancestors. Anything else that's in the head of this strange man from who knows where. Senses victory. And over. Pull. Oh. Chokehold across the throat there. Almost a choke chicken wing. Referee right there though, watching closely. The crowd getting behind Duggan as they need to. He does need their support at this time. You can see him. Duggan needs to find a way. That was flat the hand. That was okay. That wasn't a punch. Referee blindsided anyway. Not so sure about that one. Either way, it's not having much effect on Voodoo. Turning into a slugging match. It's very, very hot. It's early August in a room with very little ventilation. Both men sweating profusely now. Across. He's going to go. No, he's thinking of trying to get the suplex on it, but he's got that side headlock again. Trying for the chicken wing. Back elbows. Hanging on to the trunks. Neat kick. And down. Danny just took a little look at the belt there. He really, as if to say, that's going to be mine in a minute. Let's hope that gives him the inspiration, because both men are getting mighty tired now. Oh, and that wasn't far off, was it? 212-pound, 5'11" of Danny Duggan. His gym routine includes press-ups, squats, crunches, 200 times in one session. Devoted to his gym work, trains hard, not an ounce of fat on him. But he's got to lift the heavy. Voodoo. Oh. Neatly out of that one. Oh. Tombstone, possibly. No. A choker. The crowd are screaming for a Voodoo tombstone. Oh. Backbreaker, crash down. Just the count of 2. Voodoo can't believe that. Not at this stage. Only a count of 2. Voodoo himself saying that he is evolving every match he does. He evolves. Been training with Paul Ash recently. He's been helping Voodoo to evolve. Right. Now going for the choke hold. If he can connect with that around the... Yes, around the neck of Danny Duggan. We could be saying goodnight to Danny Duggan on that one, because that is what Voodoo is known for. That special lethal black hole choke. Just exchanging forearm smashes and slaps. Well, you might say that possibly Danny should have covered that straight away. He would have had the biggest. He's crawling over. He's absolutely tired. Oh, yes, if he'd have got there a little bit early, he could have had a real chance of making that the 3. This is Danny's big moment to become WrestleForce champion. But the fatigue is setting in. If this was earlier in the match, he would have covered straight away. And Voodoo would have been out cold there, but as it is, he left that just a little bit too long to do the cover. So something's got to give soon. Defending champion Voodoo against Danny Duggan. There's the chokehold. Across the throat. Duggan's doing phenomenally well to get out of that. Oh. And the throat problem is it's for Voodoo as the ropes go straight across him. A roll up, he's rolled out. No, lifts himself up onto Voodoo. Well, I've not seen that one before, but it's a way to stop the shoulders from being down for the count of 3. Well, both men giving absolutely everything here. Wrist lock to Duggan. And Voodoo, even the great Voodoo, just requesting a breather for a minute. Oh! Strain between the legs now. Did Martin Raymondson see that? Because if he did, it would have been back to the dressing room. Backbreaker. And straight onto his head. And kicks out at 2. We thought he'd had it then. We thought that the big man had got it again, but 1, 2, 3, says Voodoo. No, no, no. He's going to have to do it again. Referee's explaining, he's making absolutely certain those shoulders are down for the count of 3 and beyond before he calls it. A 2 and a nearly does not count. Yeah, referee Martin Raymondson, very definite final private warning about that kick in the midriff. Again across the throat. It's not going to count if it's outside the ring. They've got to do it inside, so whatever happens now, somehow they've got to get themselves to the right side of those ropes. Back elbow, back elbow. Duggan has survived all these throat holds, all these chokers so far. no, you don't want to come back. Voodoo hangs off for grim death there. This is where he does need the help of his ancestors. My goodness. Down! Straight onto the ring apron, the side of the ring. Now, what sort of landing have both of these men had? The referee's gone out to check on them to make sure. There's going to come a point where he's going to start the count there. Just asking Danny Duggan if he wants to continue or does he want to stop the match. Duggan says, I don't want to stop the match. So the count will begin. It's almost a case now, not so much who's going to win this, it's who's going to get back in the ring before the referee reaches the count of 10. Voodoo is in. Duggan is on 7. If he's the wrong side of the ring at 10, he's out. And Voodoo will retain the championship. Just and absolutely just. Look at Voodoo's face. Look at Voodoo's face. What are you playing at? He's saying, I can't believe that. That was 10. I am winner. But no, Voodoo can't. But what more have I got to do against this guy from London? He's going to do a reverse flip from up there. Fingers crossed. Oh, and he's going to have no leverage on that roof. Ay, 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 ay. Oh! He took the crowd in Southend down with him on that one. Duggan has got that extra fire in his belly. Tombstone coming up. No. Goes into the Boston Crab, the back-legged Boston Crab on the ropes. And Voodoo needed to get to those ropes. He's screaming with pain. Look at the face of Voodoo. Duggan's face screaming for him to tap, to submit, to give in, to relinquish the title. But the ropes save him. Ropes are on the Voodoo side here. This crowd at the Watson Hall in Southend absolutely loving this one. First time WrestleForce have been here at this particular hall, but this packed crowd are loving this WrestleForce Championship match. Again, nearly a full Boston Crab, not quite. It's becoming a scrap now, isn't it? And he's got it! Voodoo has got it, and Danny Duggan can't quite believe what happened there, but he's got it. Voodoo retains the title.
The defending champion, and he's still the champion, Voodoo. He came here tonight determined to win. He came here tonight determined to take the belt back. He's done it. He's still the WrestleForce champion, Voodoo. And ladies and gentlemen, what a match, what a contest, what a fight. Danny Duggan, everybody. He may not have won tonight, but the promoters would have seen that match, and they would have known what a match he was given. And there will be another chance, I'm sure, for a rematch. Danny Duggan, everybody. Now, folks, just before we take...